Here's what Bill Simmons said on his podcast, making up a potential Joel Embiid trade. Now, first of all, nobody would ever trade for Joel Embiid without knowing if he's healthy or not, right? We haven't gotten, we know he got the second surgery. Okay, we're going to have to start to see like videos of him on the court playing or something like that for anybody to actually be interested in a trade. If he shows signs of potentially being healthy, there could be takers. But also, if Joel Embiid shows signs of being healthy, why would the 76ers trade him? You see what I'm saying? You would only trade Joel Embiid because we're like, dude, he signed until 2029. He's owed $69 million in 2029. That's insane. He can't get on the court. He couldn't get on the court last year. He's cooked. We got to trade him. Nobody's going to trade for him if he's cooked. But if he looks like he might be healthy this upcoming season, why would the Sixers trade him? And that would also require Daryl Morey to be reflective and, have a little bit of self-awareness. And he doesn't do that at all. He's a narcissistic maniac. Here's what Bill Simmons said.
I think Reeves at 14 and 15, when you throw expirings with him, you could get some really good players at that point.
Can you think of anything where if you're the Lakers, you go, now I have to think about this a little bit?
Embiid?
So they were talking about trading Austin Reeves as Lakers fans or from a Lakers perspective. And this is how they started talking about this.
Good players at that point.
Can you think of anything where if you're the Lakers, you go, now I have to think about this a little bit?
Embiid?
That's something the Lakers would like traditionally do.
Talk about get out of jail free cards.
I think the Sixers
were like,
do it in a second.
We'll give you all of our expirings and a first, and we'll get you out of the Joel Embiid business.
Would Daryl Morey do that? He said he thinks, okay, let's just listen to the whole thing and then I'm going to give my thoughts on it. I don't want to keep.
We'll give you all of our expirings and a first, and we'll get you out of the Joel Embiid business. Here's your get out of jail free card right now. You don't have to deal with them anymore.
I heard Embiid was available at the trade deadline. It'd be irresponsible to not even ask. Yeah, oh yeah.
Come on.
You think it's surprising that Daryl would potentially float the idea?
I just hadn't heard that. I was excited about the info. Yeah, so all right, that's my favorite Lakers move. All their expirings and 2 first-round picks, and they get Embiid. And Philly
so
just
not
gets,
Reeves.
Reeves isn't in it.
Oh, Reeves isn't in it.
He's not in it. You don't even get Reeves. We don't know if Embiid's ever playing again. I'm like, I'll take Embiid. You can have one of our first-round picks, and here's some bunch of expirings.
I guess first we got to talk about, would that make any sense for the Lakers to do? You traded for Luka Doncic, right? He's 25 years old. Your goal is to move forward and build around Luka Doncic. You don't have a ton of time to do that because Luka Doncic isn't the most conditioned athlete in the world. I don't think he's going to age gracefully unless he changes a lot of the things about a lot of his daily habits. If Joel Embiid is healthy, yeah, that jump starts it. That gets you. I mean, if Joel Embiid's healthy, the Lakers would be a title contender, I guess you could say. You know, because and a lot of people don't understand what it means for, or a lot of people forget how good Joel Embiid is when he's healthy, right? And if he's cooked, he's cooked, right? But when we say if he's healthy, we're talking like dominating the NBA. That's what he did when he was healthy. We're talking like the most unstoppable one-on-one scorer in the history of the game, the highest point per minute in NBA history. We're talking like dropping 40, 50 points in 3 quarters and sitting out the 4th quarters of these games while also holding down the defensive end and being a paint presence to not just block shots, but make nobody even want to go in the paint. So, yeah, if Joel Embiid would end up being healthy, the Lakers would immediately be title contenders. You balance the Luka Doncic offense and lack of defense with Joel Embiid's presence and defense, and yeah. But if he's healthy, I don't even see the Sixers considering it. If some videos start to come out of Joel Embiid playing basketball, first of all, the whole Sixers fan base is going to erupt again, and we're going to be 100% back in. They're going to get us. They're going to just wait for it. They're going to get us. There's going to be a video at some point this upcoming offseason that's going to get us, and we're going to jump right back in. But he's saying it like the Lakers trading for him, not knowing if he's going to be healthy. Why would they do that? Why would you give up 2 first-round picks and pay Joel Embiid $50 million a year until 2029, actually $64 in 2028 and $69 in 2029? Why would you strap yourselves to 4 more years of max money if you don't know if he's going to be healthy? He's saying it. This is where it doesn't make any sense. And I'm not here to slander Bill Simmons. I know he's just saying it for fun, for a fun conversation. But he's not even considering Joel Embiid's contract. And he's basically saying if Joel Embiid's hurt and we don't know if he's going to be healthy, I'll give you 2 first-round picks and all of our expiring contracts for Embiid, and you get out of jail. That doesn't make any sense. I was trying to make this I was trying to see a way that this idea makes any sense at all, but it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for the Lakers if they don't know if Joel Embiid's healthy. They're not going to strap themselves to that money until 2029 when they're trying to build around Luka Doncic. That doesn't make any sense. And on the other side, if he looks like he's possibly going to be healthy, the Sixers aren't going to trade him. And so these guys saying, I think the Sixers do that in a second. Have you met Daryl Morey? You guys really think Daryl Morey's sitting around trying to trade Joel Embiid right now? It would have happened already. And this is the conclusion that I've come to over just the past couple of years of Daryl Morey. Before he was a Sixers GM, I felt like he had more of a quick trigger in trading guys before they're past their prime. I used to hype up Daryl Morey with his Houston Rockets years, how he turned over the Houston Rockets after the Tracy McGrady, Yao Ming era, how he flipped those guys and moved on and traded for James Harden and saved that franchise from tanking. I used to give him so much credit for not being a guy that sits around and messes around. And then he comes to Philly and he does the opposite, and he signs a guy who is inching towards a major decline and signs him until 2029. So yeah, I don't think this makes any sense, but I guess we'll listen to. Well, did we listen to the whole thing
first? And we'll get you out of the Joel Embiid business.
Yeah. See, who said Daryl Morey wants out of the Joel Embiid business? They wouldn't have signed him last offseason if they wanted out.
Here's your get out of jail free card right now. You don't have to deal with him anymore.
I heard Embiid was available at the trade deadline.
Look at that face. Look at that face. You made that up. You made that up, and you know you did. Because even Bill Simmons didn't hear that, and Bill Simmons, is the made-up rumor connoisseur. If there was a made-up rumor that if Joel Embiid was even rumored to be available at the trade deadline, Bill Simmons would have heard that. He didn't even know that.
I heard Embiid was available at the trade deadline. It'd be irresponsible to not even ask.
You just made that up.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Come on.
You think it's surprising that Daryl would potentially float the idea?
I just hadn't heard that. I was excited about the info. Yeah. So, all right, that's my favorite.
No, I don't believe that rumor, and I don't think that trade idea makes any sense. But thank you for the free reaction content in the middle of the 76ers offseason, Bill Simmons. We're going to have to ask the pick this year to get off of Paul George, so I don't know what the timeline can be given we punted last year, tanked this year, and have no hope for next year if it goes like that. I will say this. People that are, and I know you said that because you can't get off a Paul George contract, right? And again, both of these guys, they're untradeable unless they show some signs of liar, pants on fire. They're untradeable unless they show some signs of being healthy this upcoming season. So yeah, you can't get off of either contract. But since you said the first, anybody floating that idea that if the Sixers are in the lottery, there's people that have said we should trade our first round pick this year, attach it to Paul George just to get off the contract. That is insane also. Because now, you don't want to be stuck with the Paul George contract if he's going to continue to decline, or the Joel Embiid contract. But this draft could net you a franchise-altering player. You don't give up a potential franchise-altering player just to get off of a bad contract that you signed last year. So I don't agree that they should throw in their first round pick for anything. We're screwed until 2029. Well, Alex, the only way out, the only way out is on Monday in the NBA draft lottery. The only way out.